Hi, this is Brennan Davis from Bedrock Games and the Bedrock blog, and today I want to answer a question about House of Paper Shadows and Strange Tales of Song Ling. Somebody asked if House of Paper Shadows is compatible with Strange Tales of Song Ling. And then over the course of asking that, there were more questions about whether it was compatible with Wandering Heroes of Ogregate. The answer is they're vaguely compatible, but I wouldn't say that they're directly compatible. You can't just take Strange Tales and run characters with it through House of Paper Shadows, even though the system largely aligns. There are fewer defenses in Ogregate than there are in Strange Tales of Song Ling, but the core dice mechanic works exactly the same. So you can sort of just intuit which defenses to target with the system. But the bigger problem is really the max wounds tend to scale differently, so the monsters don't necessarily have the same stats in each system, and the abilities of the characters are different. So you would need to sort of account for that and vet the module, and probably make some changes, or alternatively boost the characters in the Strange Tales system before you run them through House of Paper Shadows. I think one piece of advice I would give people is Wandering Heroes of Ogregate is pay what you want, so you can go download it for free, take a look at the core system, and then decide if you think that it would be worth your time to, adapt any module intended for Wandering Heroes of Ogregate to Strange Tales of Song Ling. You might also be able to check out the preview of House of Paper Shadows on Drive-Thru. I think I have quite a number of pages on the preview, so that might be useful to you. But yeah, it's just one of these things where it's very close, but it's so close yet different enough that it would trip you up if you just directly ran it, and you're gonna have to make adjustments. And the same thing for for either of them. The one thing I will say is a lot of the stuff that is in Strange Tales on the blog does have equivalencies for them in Wandering Heroes of Ogregate, because I initially did this thing where I did I think it was 100 days of Pusong Ling, where I just did all 100 chapters of Strange Tales from a Chinese Studio, and I used each chapter as inspiration for Wandering Heroes of Ogregate material. And a lot of that stuff ended up in the Strange Tales system, and it kind of helped form the foundation of the Strange Tales system. So you can go check that out on the blog. You might have to search in the sidebar, and that will give you some material if you do want to do some kind of if you want to get a sense of how to change things to fit them to the system. So if you look at let me see if I can find the adventure. I think it's Lotus Fragrance. If you look at Lotus Fragrance in the Strange Tales of Song Ling book, which by the way I think is it's one of the adventures that I had the most fun making, and it's the one that I personally like, because it's such a direct attempt to do something from the Strange Tales of Song Ling, or sorry, the Strange Tales from the Chinese Studio book. But if you go to the Lotus Fragrance adventure, that's up on the blog, but done for Ogregate, and so you can directly compare all of the entries in the Strange Tales of Song Ling book with the Bedrock blog one. In fact, I'll see if I can find it right now, because I'm online. I'll go in. My eyes aren't what they used to be, so this may take me a moment. But since I'm advising people to do this, yeah. So if you go down to if you go to the Bedrock blog and you go to Gaming Strange Tales from a Chinese Studio, and then you scroll down until, let's see, is there Lotus Fragrance, and you go to Lotus Fragrance, and unless I'm gravely mistaken, nope, it's all set for Wandering Heroes of Ogregate. So for example, you go to the Fox Cavern. Let's see. And again, I apologize doing this while I'm talking, but I want to find it. All right. So if you go to the Spirited Green Flowers on page 109 of the Strange Tales of Song Ling book, and then you go to the Lotus Fragrance entry on the Bedrock blog, you'll see that is it's a similar stat block. except that the one on the blog for Ogregate has hardiness 5, evade 2, parry 8, stealth 9, wits 4, and resolve 8. The one in Strange Tales of Song Ling has hardiness 5, evade 4, wits 4. Let's see, the key skills I think are largely the same. Are they? Nope, the muscle is a little bit different, but otherwise they're largely the same. In fact, interesting. Yeah, the muscle is different in the so that might not be a conversion. That might be something I discovered in playtest. But the max wounds for the Bedrock blog are 10. The max wounds in Strange Tales of Song Ling are 4. So I think that gives you a better indication of the difference of scaling of max wounds. The abilities, are they the same? I think they're largely the same. So, all right. So I reduced the okay. So that's probably why the muscle is lower. So I reduced the damage a bit on the Thorny Grasp. Looks like it's a little bit different as well. And then, so yeah, there's some minor changes in the powers abilities too, but that's just one example. That's a very small one. The Spirited Green Flowers are a fairly small entry, but if you do that, you can get a sense, I think, of what the differences are, and I think it would be a good way to sort of before you even decide, oh, do I want to do House of Paper Shadows with Strange Tales of Song Ling, check out what the stats in the Bedrock blog are, and that'll give you kind of an indication of what the disparities might be. And so, again, it's not like there's a formula, because I haven't sat down and sort of, really contemplated whether it's like, just, reduce max wounds by X% or X amount. I don't know if that's really quite how it works. But, I'm sure you could probably come up with a number, but it might take some trial and error. So again, if you want to give it a shot and you're nervous, you can always contact me and let me know, and we can see if I can work something out with you to give you a free PDF of it, maybe, so that you can take a look at the stuff and see if it's because it is an investment. I don't want people plunking money down for something they're not going to be able to use. So certainly feel free to give me contact me through the blog or on the Discord or wherever. But if you just want information, again, check out the Ogregate rulebook. You can just download it for free. I'm sure a lot of people listening already have the Ogregate rulebook, so you can just kind of do that. And check out the Strange Tales from a Chinese Studio, the Gaming Strange Tales from a Chinese Studio entries on the Bedrock blog, because that does have a lot of information that could be useful. And yeah, so I hope this is helpful. Also, I should let people know, Strange Tales of New England is I just got it back from the editor, so I'm going over the edits, and I'm making adjustments and all that, and we should be getting to the layout phase fairly soon. So that's coming along nicely. And yeah, and again, we've been a little bit silent on the blog. I do apologize. I had a death in the family, so I had to tend to that, and it's been it's that's why there hasn't been like another post about any of the campaigns or anything. So I'm gonna hopefully have another campaign post up soon. But until next time, I will talk to you later.